Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Hi, PJ. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
That's good. It's better than, I don't know what in the world happened to that 22B session. Boy, that was I finally had to sign on as Carol Schoonover.
I was wondering why you were in the other room as her. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I continued, and then I decided to take the leap and try to sign on as myself, and sure enough, it worked this time. That's great.
Good.
Making
Last
progress.
session for the day. There we go. Just
right.
in time to wrap up, right? There you go.
Oh, no, it's when you do something like this, it's always a new learning.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Good afternoon.
Okay. So we've got Paul here. We've got John. And Dr. Goldstein. Is it Goldstein or Goldstein? Do you know? Goldstein. She actually ended up being able to join us live at the last presentation. So fingers crossed she can do it here as well. But I do have her video that will play.
Yeah. I'll introduce her, and then I guess she'll introduce her video.
Great. Welcome, everybody. Get situated. It's our last session for the day that we can all go outside and enjoy this beautiful weather.
It's hot out there, PJ.
Is it? I've been stuck in the air conditioning, just glaring out the window, daydreaming all day, so I don't know about the heat.
I've had the dog outside twice already today, and I'm going to have to take her out after this, too.
Oh, my. Here we go. So,
Hey, PJ.
yes.
You know, I was supposed to text you the other day when I got back from
How
golf.
was golf? You got back like 2.5, 3 hours late.
Well, no. What happened was I put back in my text message thing. I got a phone call, and I was on the phone call, and I got done with the phone call, and I kept on looking, and you weren't responding. And after a couple hours, I said, how long has it been? And I said, oh my God, I didn't send it.
Yeah, usually he just tells me, don't bother me. I can't help you yet. So I was wondering, well, maybe he had a really good game or a really bad game.
Terrible
game. Well, I'm glad to see you on here and it's working. Here we go.
Yeah, my wife figured out how to do it.
Oh, good. Is Jim Miller in the room yet?
I talked to him a few minutes ago. He was going to get on.
He was on the LVRF.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to get on. He was worried about that he couldn't get on earlier, and so he was going to sign up right on the minute, I thought.
Well, we still got a few minutes before we get started, so we're okay.
Okay, I see
there
now
he is. I was going to say, yeah.
Signed in. Now if he'll go on and click on, maybe he can get into the the screen this time.
Jim Miller, when you get a chance, please click share audio and video so that we can approve you.
And there's Judy. She's also
Do I look better now? Okay, look better.
Perfect. Yes. Hello and welcome.
I am trainable. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dr. Goldstein's back. Wonderful. Judy, if you'd like to join us live, you are more than welcome. Go ahead and share your audio and video, but I do have your presentation recorded and ready to go.
Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we absolutely can. Yes.
Great. Hi, PJ. Thank you for all your hard work.
I'm super thrilled that you were able to join us. I thought you were going to be on the road all day. Yes.
I was. I didn't make it to the last session. I joined at the last 5 minutes. So that didn't work out as I'd hoped, but I'm grateful.
We're trees we can bend, right? Yes.
That's right.
Wonderful. Okay.
I don't see
Bob Masson yet. Really very smooth and well done.
Good.
All the elements work together.
So it looks like we're just missing Dr. Jim Jones and Bob Nassoff. If you guys are with us and I don't see you, go ahead and request to share your screen and we'll get you approved in here.
I don't see them as being logged in yet.
Yeah, I'm not seeing their name either, but I wasn't sure if I missed it. Yeah.
It would be nice to have them.
Yes, it would.
Otherwise, John, we're going to see how well you are with a PowerPoint that you haven't seen yet.
I just got something from Bob Massoff that says, how do I get logged on?
Okay.
Whoops.
And I think I've seen him in multiple sessions. So he ask him to refresh the sessions box. He might be bringing up a cached version because it opens up 5 minutes before the actual room does.
He also asked if there was any way he could test his presentation before starting.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a call right now.
Okay.
Yeah, PJ says to, what did you say, PJ? Say that again. What do you want him to do?
If he can't see the session, if he clicks on the sessions tab again, he might need to refresh the page because he might be bringing up a cached version.
Are you logged into the convention now? Okay, if you click on the sessions tab.
PJ, the moderation panel showing up down below. Those are the other folks who are just onto the site.
They're requesting to speak, but they're not actual speakers, so I haven't approved anybody. And it's always a good idea never to let John Mosier just randomly speak. Come on.
We'll let you take care of John Mosier.
PJ, Bob says that his screen says sessions will appear when they become available.
Yeah, have him go to the reception room and then jump back into the sessions tab because it should be available now.
Okay, did you hear that?
And
okay.
If not, give me his number and I'll have Nick call him.
Yeah, go back to sessions and see if that works.
Hi, Dr. Goldstein. How are you?
Hey, PJ, he went back to sessions and got the same response again.
John, can you do me a favor? Text me his telephone number and I'll have Nick call him so that you guys can at least get started.
Okay.
Hey, Jim, how's Susan?
She's doing really good. She's, I think we're going to see you in a couple of weeks. But,
Oh, great.
It's progressing, but it hasn't been dramatic, but it's sort of steady, you know. So you do wonderful things for her. She's really looking forward to seeing you.
Great, us too. Please give her my best and tell her I say hi, and I really look forward to seeing her always. And you too, Jen. Just, you know, she's a little prettier, so.
Much prettier and far more important. Thank you very much.
Hey, PJ, you there? It looks like he walked off. Okay.
He did.
I was just going to give him the
He's
number.
back, John.
PJ, I've got his number here. If you want to write down. It's 410-502-6246. You're muted. I can't hear you.
One of us would get this by now. Yes. I'm going to have Nick call him right now and walk him through it. Okay. Cool.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, so we're trying to get Dr. Bob on. I don't see Jim Jones. He was our other live speaker today. I'm looking to see if I don't see that he's signed in either. Jim Jones. I guess we can start with and hopefully Bob will be in by the time because he's not in the program for another 6 or 7 minutes. So,
and we can always course correct and come back if we need to.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, well, welcome to the LOVRNET session. To give you an idea, today we're going to have Dr. Judy Goldstein is going to give us a a talk on what low vision is and to see what the problem is. And Dr. Massoff is going to give an introduction to LOVRNET, what the roles, the components of LOVRNET are, which is a way we have of trying to address people with low vision problems. We'll have testimonials from a patient and from Dr. Deemer, and hopefully Dr. Jones will get on a little later. Then Jim Miller is going to talk about he's our chairman of LOVRNET. He's going to talk about the current state and what we're doing to move forward. And then we're going to hear from our executive director, past district governor Paul Hawkins, and he's going to talk about what we can do as Lions to help make all this thing work. So first, I'd like to introduce Dr. Judy Goldstein. And Judy, if you want to introduce your video that you have, that would be fine.
Thanks, Lion John. Good afternoon, Lions. My name is Judy Goldstein. I'm an associate professor of ophthalmology and the new director of the Lions Vision Research and Rehabilitation Center. Because I was not sure about my time today, I pre-recorded my session, which I'll play for you in just a moment. I was asked to talk just a little bit about what is low vision, so I prepared just a really brief presentation to sort of tell you what low vision is from the clinician's perspective, from how we measure the magnitude of low vision in a very clinical way. Many of you are familiar with how we evaluate it by asking patients questions from the interview. But this is really more about the technical components of it and how we look at it from a measurement perspective. So with that, I will ask somebody, whoever is good at this.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Goldstein. At this point, we'd like to have Dr. Massoff talk. He's having some difficulties working with our organizer to get hooked up. Just briefly, couple of the components of LOVRNET that we get involved in as Lions. The first is to we take information from new patients coming in, do interviews with them in order to get information to send to the eye doctors, and we also do some things with home visits and giving people rides and so forth with direct services. And that will be gone into in more detail once we get Dr. Bob up on the screen. But for right now, we'd like to go to the testimonials. The first testimonial is from Cody. He's a patient up at Wilmer, and he's going to talk about his experience with getting interviewed and so forth. And then the next testimonial is from Dr. Deemer. Dr. Deemer is one of our fellow graduates. She stayed on at Wilmer for a while. She's now out in California, but she's going to talk about her experiences in working with LOVRNET. So if we can roll the testimonials for the patient, please do so.
Hi, my name is Cody LaPlante. I'm 27 years old. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a teacher of students with visual impairments, and I also have a visual impairment myself. My visual condition is called macular hypoplasia. I also have a little bit of nystagmus, which is when your eyes shake back and forth. And I want to talk today about my experience at the LOVRNET. Last year in 2019, and to the I had
Now, if we have the testimonial from Dr. Deemer, if we can run that one. Thank you, Dr. Deemer. Very, very nice. Now I'm going to ask Dr. Bob Massoff if he can give us a little bit of the history and the roles and functions of LOVRNET and how all that's going to work. Dr. Bob?
Still muted. If you can just share your audio. Down at the bottom of the screen, you should see a camera, microphone. There you go.
Me if I'm unmuted.
You are,
Yeah,
sir.
we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
And just let me know when you want me to go. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
I said, I've got your PowerPoint, so just let me know when to advance.
Okay. What we want to ask is I'll tell you how LOVRNET works, and we are using LOVRNET to improve the care that's being provided. Next slide. It was designed. Go to the next slide, please. Can we advance this one? There we go. So there's a shortage of low vision rehabilitation services in the community. LOVRNET was designed to address this issue, and it was designed to overcome the barriers that are faced by optometric and ophthalmologic practices to providing low vision rehabilitation services to their patients. The main barrier is that it is for them to do so. The reasons are, first, a long and detailed patient history is required to determine how each patient's visual impairment limits the patient's ability to function in daily life, the patient's safety, have a meaningful social life, the patient's physical being, and and the mental health and quality of life. If you could advance the slide, please. And advance it once more. Press advance, there you go. The second limitation is there are limited options for acquiring vision assistive equipment. These are known as low vision devices, which are prescribed for the patient. Currently, practices low vision either buy and resell devices from a distributor, requiring them to get into the retail transactions with the patient, or otherwise have to educate the patient on how to order the correct devices online. And then if we can go to the advance again. There are limited resources for implementing behavioral interventions in the patient's home. And currently what is done is to refer a patient to state or private agencies, which will require severe visual impairment or legal blindness on the part of the patient to be eligible. There's limited training for multidisciplinary services that require it. Includes occupational therapy, clinical social work, orientation mobility instruction, which many patients require. And there's limited public awareness and understanding of low vision and the problems that are experienced by people who have low vision and the existence and benefits of low vision, which requires public education. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so the question is how low vision volunteers can help practices overcome the barriers to providing low vision rehabilitation services. The first thing LOVRNET provides is a detailed patient history. So when seeing a primary care physician, patients are expected to fill out a detailed health and social history form first, either online or in the waiting room, that makes the time with the doctor more efficient. Visually impaired patients, especially those who have not had any low vision rehabilitation services, most likely cannot fill out forms without assistance. Service of LOVRNet is to rely on volunteers to administer the detailed intake history form using a computer-assisted telephone interview prior to appointment with the low vision doctor. Volunteers are trained and HIPAA certified by LOVRNet to control quality and protect privacy. Advance again. Okay, and advance one more. Okay, so the limited patient options for acquiring the vision assistive equipment. So how do we address that problem? Next slide. Okay, and why don't you just advance through until all the bullets are up, and then we won't have to try to coordinate it. So how line volunteers can help these practices overcome that barrier with regard to availability of devices. LOVRNet, in addition to the barrier, LOVRNet has worked with the Vision Council to develop a low vision device shopping cart. Vision nonprofit trade association of companies in the vision care business. The low vision section of the Vision Council consists of member companies who make and sell vision assistive technology, optical and electronic magnetic lighting, daily living aids, and so on. The low vision section of the Vision Council has been a LOVRNet partner since the beginning of the program. Member companies have contributed their products to 2 LOVRNet shopping carts. One for over-the-counter daily living aids, and the other for prescribed optical and electronic devices. Member companies also have contributed their products to a professionally designed vision assistive technology demonstration kit, which is provided to new patients that want to begin providing low vision, to new practices that want to begin providing low vision rehabilitation services and be part of LOVRNet. Often assist LOVRNet patients who cannot afford to purchase recommended or prescribed vision assistive equipment. And finally, administrative staffing of the online shopping cart and other online services is provided by LOVRNet volunteers. And advance to the next slide. Okay, now address the limited resources for implementing behavior interventions in the patient's home and community. After that. And then again, just put up the bullet points. There should be 4 of them. So the final component is direct services to LOVRNet patients. LOVRNet volunteers vision patients to the practice. LOVRNet volunteers can assist with telerehabilitation that is provided remotely by vision rehabilitation therapists in the patient's home and out in the community, which is really something taking more place because of COVID. LOVRNet volunteers can help low vision patients make therapist recommended safety and organizational modifications of the patient's home environment. And Lions Clubs often assist LOVRNet patients who cannot afford to purchase recommended or prescribed vision assistive equipment. And we'll advance one more. And then the final area, as part of that, is public education. LOVRNet volunteers can participate in community health fairs. Lions Clubs can organize and host low vision public education programs in their community. For example, assisted living centers, community centers, schools, community events. LOVRNet volunteers can produce and contribute educational material on low vision and low vision rehabilitation to the LOVRNet website. And Lions Clubs can host public fundraising events in the community, for example, walks, golf tournaments, and so on, to support LOVRNet operations and help patients. So in the final analysis, LOVRNet is a service program, and where it doesn't require complete coordination as a club activity. Individual Lions can volunteer to serve in addition to club projects to serve their community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. It's very, very informative. I think it gives us a good direction. I'm now going to ask Jim Miller. He's our chairman of our foundation, to tell us about what the current state of LOVRNET is and what our plans are moving into the future. So, Jim, it's all yours.
John, thank you very much. I appreciate all the presenters that have talked up to this point. Dr. Goldstein is very valuable to us, as is Dr. Massoff. Is my audio coming through all right, by the way? Okay, all right, good. Thank you very much. My name is Jim Miller. I'm chairman of LOVRNET, as John pointed out. I've been the chairman for about 2 years. I became a Lion because my father-in-law, who since passed away, had a hereditary eye disease called pattern dystrophy. And when he died, he had a medical device called a CCTV, which is designed to help those with very low vision. He was legally blind. My wife suggested that we donate it, and so we looked around and found that the Lions did things with vision. So we called. John Lawrence came out to pick up the equipment. John Lawrence not only picked up the equipment, but quickly convinced me that I should be a Lion and I should be helping in low vision, and that's what got me into Lions. I started my work with LOVRNET as an interviewer, and for those of you who may have done it, or if you haven't, being an interview is really a very, very worthwhile effort, and I would encourage you to do that. LOVRNET was established by LVRF. I was not here at that time, but my assumption is that it was established to be the outreach for those patients, both in and outside the Wilmer Center. Many Lions participated in interviewing, as Dr. Bob has talked about, many in direct services, picking up patients, making equipment available to those who needed it. And then along came COVID. And when COVID came, it did to LOVRNET what it did to most programs. Our program came to a standstill. Providers were not seeing patients. No interviews were needed. Direct services were dramatically reduced because you really didn't come together. However, we used this time to form a group that we call Gen 2 or Generation 2 to help us format what we were going to be like when we reintroduced LOVRNET, which we're about to do. We would hope that this relaunch would take place perhaps by the middle of June. And we're very excited about doing it. And here's some of the key elements of that relaunch. We're establishing a new website, but also establishing a Facebook program, which we have not had before. And you said, well, that's pretty simple. But the purpose of it is to reach out to both practitioners and potential patients with low vision in an effort to bring the two together. This is a vastly unserved population. And if I could describe the position that the patient is in is when this happens, because my wife, by the way, inherited her father's disease, therefore is legally blind in one eye and has severely restricted vision in the other eye. So I've been involved through her with the services at Wilmer, and the process is generally they're treated, they're looked at, everything that can be done is done. And I see the look on their face when it happens. The ophthalmologist, if that's who it is, looks up and says, glasses won't help you anymore. And then as I heard a physician tell her, we don't really have anything for you, which is true, and certainly not their fault. But that's where LOVRNET comes in. And as Dr. Goldstein told my wife when she was in front of her, we can't cure your eye disease, but we can really help you with your life. And there's a lot of assistance that we can give you. And that's the population that LOVRNET serves. So we'll launch a new website and a Facebook program to find more low vision patients who are not being served, find practitioners who want to serve low vision patients and bring them together. We will launch a new LOVRNET software program. Up to this point, we've depended on the software program from Wilmer, which has served us well, but it is primarily oriented to Wilmer patients. And as we go out away from Baltimore, we will get different types of patients, and also is somewhat limited in capacity. The program will be initiated, and the program will be initiated one district at a time. A district champion will be appointed. A full LOVRNET program will be introduced and includes all the things that we've talked about. The standard interviewing program, gathering the information that Dr. Massoff was talking about, that the practitioner does not have time, or maybe not even the staff doesn't have time. Well, through our interviewers who volunteer, we can get that information for them as a guide for their treatment. We will also introduce a direct services program, initially one of transportation, and that is to take the patient to a healthcare facility when they're not able to get there, but ultimately work into and train people to do, again, what Dr. Massoff was talking about, is go to the patient's home, help them through lines and provide them with the medical equipment that they need to assist them in this life of low vision that they're leading, and also to look at their home, ways that you might be able to help them. Things that help my wife. Put marks on stairs on the edge so they can see it. You can't have carpet that just runs down the stairs to other carpet because they can't differentiate between that. Lighting that helps because they require more light to see what they really need to do. So we hope to have people going into their home. Our vision statement is improve the quality of life for people with low vision. Our mission is to make low vision care available for all who need it. And to do that, we need the Lions. And I'll turn it over to Paul Hawkins to talk about that.
Paul, you're muted. You need to unmute.
Sorry about that. Let me first of all make clarification. We've been talking about LOVRNET since we came on. LOVRNET is an acronym. It stands for the Lions Low Vision Rehabilitation Network. Now, I don't know how many of you attended the LVRF seminar, which preceded this one, but it was a great seminar. Told us about what Wilmer is doing at the eye clinic and the fantastic clinic, the Lions Vision Center that we have there. And I think Jim mentioned to us just shortly that LOVRNET began with a grant that was requested by LVRF. It operated during the pilot program as a committee within LVRF. And then we started talking about Lions performing service and came up with the concept of LOVRNET, hands-on service to those with low vision. Now, you heard Dr. Goldstein talk about low vision and what it entails and the impact that it has on individuals. Dr. Massoff gave you a rundown on what the operational concepts or aspects of LOVRNET are, including interviewers. You heard from Cody LeBlanc, who is a LOVRNET patient, and actually he's not really a typical LOVRNET patient because Dr. Goldstein mentioned to you also that most low vision patients are elderly, and Cody is certainly not elderly, but he did get some benefit from talking to a Lion volunteer during that interview, and that is another benefit that we provide directly to the patients, is interviewing them, talking to them, making bonds with them. I know I did some interviews. I interviewed an 86-year-old patient once, and he actually ended up telling me about the book that he had written. And I said, what's the title of your book? And he said, it's The Adventures of an Anonymous Superhero. And I thought, that sounds like an interesting book. I'd like to see it. I said, who's your publisher? He said, it's not published. And I have not yet been able to find it. But I mean, we have Lion interviewers calling patients, and those patients calling the Lion interviewer back later just to talk. So this is an opportunity for us to make the lives of these patients better. Direct services. Jim mentioned that we do a lot of transportation of patients to their appointments. Bijoy Mahanti has also done a number of home visits, helping people organize their daily life. I did a home visit once with a woman who was evicted from her home when she had a fire. When that home was restored, she went back in, and it was beautiful. It had white walls. It had beautiful white face plates on all of her switches and white covers on her outlets. She couldn't turn on her lights or plug in anything because she couldn't find them. I got a call from Wilmer, said, can we pick up some black face plate covers, take them out there and install them? We did that. It took about 3 hours, but I'll tell you, the look on that woman's face when it was done was worth 100 hours of service. He also talked about the role of Lions in educating both the public and Lions and the practitioners about LOVRNET and low vision. Jim talked to you a little bit about the pause that we had in the program during COVID, where we took a chance to step back, identify the challenges that we've been faced with, and look at options moving forward. The first action that he mentioned is we're going to focus our attention on small areas. And in order to do that, we're going to have to expand the involvement of the local Lions, the Lions in that specific area. I'd like to go through right now and express or address some of the specific activities that we're trying to get volunteers, Lions volunteers, to be involved with. First of all, each area that we're working in, we need a Lion to be the LOVRNET champion. And what do we mean by that? It's basically the committee chair for that district or that area where we're operating. We're looking at working to develop our marketing staff. And when I talk about marketing, I'm talking about actually going out and talking to the public, talking to providers, talking to other ag organizations, both civic service and professional organizations, developing partnerships. And we have scripts for this. It doesn't take a whole lot of training for this. It's just letting people know what we're doing, what the goal is, and how they can assist us. We're looking for some volunteer management staff. We need individuals that can identify and recruit new volunteers. We need individuals that can track the training of these individuals, because as Jim said, we certify. We actually train these volunteers and certify them to make sure that they're performing within the ethical standards of the medical industry, and that we're protecting the patient's privacy. We're looking for help with scheduling volunteers. We need somebody to be a liaison with the Johns Hopkins Volunteer Office, which provides us with a lot of services. And we need to develop a QA program for those volunteers so that we can ensure that our results are proper and are properly documented. We're looking for individuals that can work with us to make our website more attractive to other individuals and to expand our social media presence. We are looking for development staff, obviously. As John Schwed said in the LVRF program, this any program is never going to not need money. LOVRNET needs money. We do not ask clubs or Lions to diminish their contributions to any other activity. And that's why we started last year what we called the 250-25 program. John Lawrence started as district governor in 22B, where he asked each club to donate $250. In 22W, Evan Gillette, District Governor Evan Gillette, started a program that he called Love for LOVRNET to encourage contributions. Whatever you can give, the 250, 25. If every Lion gave us $25, we could operate forever. So we're not asking for huge contributions, but we are asking for any help that you can give us financially. But mostly what we need is for you to share with everyone that you know, with your family, with your neighbors, with your friends, with your other associates. Tell them what Lions are doing. Tell them what LOVRNET is trying to do. Thank you very much. Are there any questions that we'd like to go through? Does anyone have any questions you can put up there on your chat?
I don't see any questions right now. Judy, do you have a comment?
No, I was just turning on my video for questions.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for attending. I think we've had some good presentations. We are moving forward with our low vision rehabilitation network, and we encourage everyone to come and join us. There's a lot we can do. Personally, I look at LVRF as being the financial part of our help with vision, with low vision, and we look at LOVRNET as getting our hands dirty and going out and interacting with citizens and patients and direct services and so forth. I encourage you all to come and join us. It's a great feeling when you can help somebody have a little better life. I think that's what we're trying to do. Any other comments?
John, let's just make it clear that if you are interested, you can contact us on the website, www.lovrnet.org. There's a place there you can sign up to volunteer. We'll be in touch, believe me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much.
Wonderful. Guys, thank you so much. This was very informative. That pretty much wraps up our convention for today. We will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning for the memorial. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, PJ.